Hi, my name is Kim Mazzella, and I'm a mindset coach and I'm a life docent. And today I want to talk about why it is so much work to learn to be happy. And so, what made me talk about this today is because I actually had a client who said, I don't understand this. Like, it's so easy to be miserable. Why is it so much work just to be happy? Well, here's the reason why. We live in this world, and this world will constantly tell us we need to do these things in order to be happy. And all of the things that the world teaches us that we need to do to be happy don't make us happy. Now, it doesn't matter that they say, oh, happiness is an inside job, and you've watched, you might have, read the right things or hear the right things, or your parents say, oh, you're so loved, I want you to be happy. But the truth is, we are not taught how to be happy. We are taught to work really hard, and if you work really hard, then maybe you can make something out of yourself. That if you get the A, then you're good. And if you get the F, then you're a loser. That's what the world teaches us, right? We were taught that if you have this amount of money, you'll be happy. If you have this clothing, you'll be happy. And you better buy this bag, and that will make you happy. And you have to have this car, and then you'll be happy. And you better put fillers in your face, and that will make you happy. So it is always something outside of you that is going to make you happy. And so the reason we have to work to become happy is because we're not trained in it. We're just not. From birth, we're not trained in it. We're competitive naturally. It's part of human nature to look at the outside world and assume that what they have is better than what I have. And so our parents really are trying with children to teach them these things, but the world doesn't make it easy. We've got to. I know even myself, I got my swept up in travel sports for my kid. I got swept up in all the things that they were doing. They have to be in this thing and they have to do that. And you just kind of go along with it because everybody else is doing it. And then you step back. My son is a senior. I'm like, wow, we spent a lot of money on things that he doesn't even like anymore, right? Because it's really hard to live in the world and to not get swept up in what everybody else is doing. And so in order to really learn how to be happy, you've got to practice it. Just because we've been practicing being unhappy, we've been practicing thinking those things outside of us are going to make us happy for a really long time, for most of our lives. Our television will tell us it, our news tells us it, our friends tell us it, the advertisement we see everywhere tells us we need that thing to be happy. We are not taught just hang out, eat bonbons, and you're enough. We're just not taught that. Now, I want to tell you something. We think that if we just let ourselves be happy, we'd hang out and eat bonbons. But if we really love ourselves, we can't help striving for things, because that's also part of the human condition, just striving for things. If we really start to fall in love with ourselves, what happens is we naturally tend to move towards the things that will really bring us joy. And it isn't sitting in front of the television eating bonbons all day long. It might be for a few minutes, but it's not going to be, because you're going to want to do something when you feel really good about it yourself. You're going to be inspired. So inspiration comes from happiness. It doesn't come from misery, because inspiration starts from the platform of love, not self-hate. So unfortunately, you haven't been practicing the rules of inspiration, and neither I wasn't taught them when I was young. I wasn't taught the rules of being connected to the self. I wasn't taught those things. If we were all taught them from very young, then it wouldn't be so hard. It just wouldn't be so hard. But right now we have to relearn how to think in order to really be joyful. Some people do have it naturally because they were just raised that way, right? But for most of us, and it's nothing against my family and nothing against my kids, it's really hard to buck the system. It really is. But you can. The thing is, you can. And bucking the system takes practicing things that might seem like silly. Like, I got to practice an affirmation to feel good about myself. But I promise you, if you just meditate every day, you'd be surprised at how differently you feel connected to yourself. And that's what it is. It's about connecting to yourself and your thinking in a different way, so that you can understand and gain control over the thoughts you think and the words that come out of your mouth. So I hope you liked what I had to say. And if you did, please consider consider the fact that you're meant to be happy. You really are. And that happiness just takes a little bit of understanding and setting new patterns. That's it. Just understanding and setting new patterns. And when you get into those patterns that become natural, then happiness becomes natural. So if you like what I had to say, please just, send me your favorite emoji or tell me what favorite thing that I said was. Always, please remember that if you need to speak to me individually, you can always find my information in the description bar. And please join my group, Supercharge Your Mindset, where other people will be talking about these things. And right now we're having a challenge to be impeccable with your word. So please remember that life is short, so have fun in life, be kind to each other, and love everything. Thanks for listening.